people, Jen Ryan here, and it's time for the back to school YouTube tag. I am wearing one of my sweatshirts from high school, just special for the occasion. I know that excites you in a major way. All right, let's get to the questions. Question 1, first day of school jitters? Yes. Like, I remember probably the worst was going into middle school from elementary school into middle school. I actually had my mom come inside the school and stand there with me because I was so scared. I mean, I was just terrified. Have you ever fallen asleep in class? Yeah, I did. I did. And I think the worst was my senior year. The first period was my chemistry class, and I'd always fall asleep, and then I'd walk down the halls and I had this big line on my going down the middle of my forehead. And then I always fell asleep in my 8th period class, the last class, which was economics and government. And so the beginning and the end of the day, I was exhausted. Number 3, share your most embarrassing moment in school. My most embarrassing moment in school is the most embarrassing moment of my entire life. It is the only moment that I can put a finger on and say that I was actually embarrassed. And I'm not even going to tell you what it is right now, because I plan on doing a whole separate vlog about that later. But basically, I'll tell you this. I was in a talent show, and I did a dance, and it ended up being way more provocative than I had meant it to be. Number 4, will you or have you joined any clubs or sports teams? Oh, was I in clubs. Bible club, and I was the vice president. Ushers club, BBS, TLC, FBLA, SAD, drama club. And then I was also in the chorus, and I was a tigerette, which was the dance line with the marching band. And I was the tigerette captain. So yeah, I was involved in quite a few things. What was your favorite grade? 10th grade? I got really cute in 10th grade. Like the end of 9th grade into 10th grade, I got really freaking adorable. I had no boyfriends that year because there were boys everywhere. I had to beat them off with a stick. That, you know, that can be interesting. I don't know. I was cute. I was pretty cute. Did you have to wear a uniform? I didn't have to wear a school uniform. We just wore whatever to school, but being a tigerette, I did have to wear a tigerette uniform. Who was your favorite teacher? I had several favorite teachers. My favorite teacher in elementary school was Mrs. Conley. The following year she got married and her name was Mrs. Sylvester, and I just adored her. Everybody did, and she even came to my graduation party. My favorite teacher probably out of all of middle school was my 8th grade homeroom teacher and my history teacher, and his name was Mr. Cleary, and he was just awesome. He was crazy. He would jump up on top of the desks, and he had this big pointer stick, and if you weren't paying attention, he kind of smack it down on the desk. And I know it sounds almost kind of scary, but he was just out there, and he was fun, and he made history very interesting. And I've had a huge love of history ever since then, so I really enjoyed his class. In high school, it was all of my performing arts related teachers that I had, and I loved all of them a lot because I spent a lot of time with them. Least favorite teacher. In high school, my least favorite teacher, she taught CP English 11. She did not like me, and she hated my writing. But she was like a real stickler for having things exactly how she wanted it and everything, and obviously when I write, I take liberties with how things should be, and also I prefer creative writing, and she wanted everything just so in the reports, and I couldn't be that formal, and I didn't. What was the worst thing you ever did at school? I didn't do anything bad at school. I was a very, very good kid, and I'm not even kidding whenever I say that. However, 2 things come to mind. One is that embarrassing borderline striptease that I already told you about. But the second thing was that I did get ISS, which is in-school suspension. I got it for being late to school too many times, like a minute late for homeroom, and then I got ISS, which I thought was ridiculous because I was such a good kid. So I actually wrote like a scathing letter to the school board, which I never gave to anybody. During that ISS period while I was there, I sat down and wrote this letter out, and I started off very mad, and the whole thing's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I was like, what's the big deal about being late? And I'm late all the time for everything now, so it's a bigger deal than I thought it was. Did you have a car, and if so, what were you driving? Nope, didn't have a car, didn't get a license. I had boyfriends that had cars. Are you still friends with anybody you went to school with? That really depends on your definition of friends. I am Facebook friends with all of my good friends from high school, but none of them live around here. So aside from liking each other's statuses on Facebook and saying, hey, your kids are cute, that's it. Is there anything you would change about your experience with school? Yes, there are some things. So I definitely wouldn't be in that talent show. So, yeah, I would have made some changes. Okay, class dismissed. That was corny. You love it though. You love the corniness. Go BF! I'm sorry I keep doing things like that. Okay, bye. Go Tigers! Did I say Taggers?